Time Dice Hour! Yay! Which is actually 90 minutes. Woo! Welcome if you're just joining us for the very first time. Just to inquisit of our audience tonight, are you new to role-playing games? No, not at all, right? Excellent. Okay. Well, then you'll be the opposite of not confused. You'll be slightly disappointed.
Take those expectations down.
Today, we are here for an episode of the Spindlespire Mysteries, which is based on the RPG game The Murder Mavens of Spindlespire Bay. So just like a TV show, we start with the cold open. The place is Town Hall for the annual Spindlespire County Charity Poker Tournament, and Mayor Jess Simmons takes the stage to announce the final round of the tournament. Attention! Attention, everyone! Will the final contenders meet at the featured table at this time to battle it out and find out which charity will take home the cake? And by cake, I mean money. Everyone, please take your seats as we prepare to shuffle up and scream. The room goes pitch black and everyone screams.
Oh, dear.
Or gasps. Or flails. Ooh. As two shots ring out in the darkness. When the lights come back on, to everyone's horror, Ace Rogers, the professional Vegas poker player, has been shot dead. And that's our cold open. So after the cold open, of course, we have the theme song. Now, this is a story all about how murder and mayhem are always around. I'd like to take a minute, so don't turn on your stove. I'll tell you about the Murder Mavens of Spindlespire Cove. Yeah. That's a short one.
I didn't realize they were going to be different every time.
Oh, they're different every time.
Love it.
Yes.
Chrissy's so talented.
This season has been absolutely on fire with hot episodes like the murder of Abe Vidal and the Halloween hijinks and the suspicious deaths at the Forever Silent auction. But in this episode of Spindlespire Mysteries, we are going to meet our cast. So please, Mavens, introduce yourself, introduce your character, and if you would please give your character a catchphrase. And we'll start on this side with you.
Sure. I'm Kyle. I'm playing Molly. She is, and her catchphrase is, "Oh, my stars and garters."
I'm Denise. I'm playing Penelope, and my character's catchphrase is "Dang."
Dang, I like it.
Hello, I'm Trisha, and I will be playing Enid Wilder, and her catchphrase is, "Oh, be serious."
I love it.
I'm Alice Baker, and I will be playing Jolene Abernathy. She's from South Carolina, and she's up here with these crazy Northerners.
We are crazy. It's true. Is that your catchphrase?
Yes.
These crazy Northerners. I love it. So, in this game, each of our murder mavens are, of course, retired people who like to spend their time solving mysteries, both real and fake. But you each get to have a cozy item. This is an item. It could be a piece of clothing. It could be a piece of jewelry. It could be an object. But it's some item that might help you. Okay. Let's all throw something at the ground. Excellent. Good teamwork,
some
everybody.
ASMR, just people who like it.
My phone won't ring, but it will fall on the floor.
So you each are going to gift another maven with a cozy item. If you use your cozy item that you are gifted during the course of tonight's mystery, you will get a bonus roll that you can bank for a really critical moment. So we'll start at the opposite end. We'll start with Jolene. Jolene, you get to gift a fellow maven a cozy item.
Well, I know Enid the best. She and I are old friends, so I'm going to gift you this. Like, I think it's fake, but maybe it's real pearl ring. You know, you always like to wear that fancy stuff. So
I do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. I'll go next. Let's see. Okay. Molly, since we are going to a poker night, I'm going to give you something that was my husband's. It's his lucky pen. You just keep it on you, and I'm sure it's gonna work, and you're gonna win everything.
Oh, thank you so much. Does it write, or is it just lucky?
It might, but it also might explode in your hand. It's very old.
Well, I am next. Enid, I have a huge wooden spoon for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, and Kyle?
So I know that Jolene, since you're visiting us from the south, and I believe that tea is a very common thing around there. Where I come from, tea is also very important. So I have this this large mug. It was actually a little too large for my kind of tea, but I think yours would do very well in it.
Nice. Thank you.
It's travel. It's aluminum, and it has taken a few hits over the years, and it can provide a few hits if the situation calls for it.
I get your meaning there, Molly. Thank you. I think I'll just add maybe just a tish of wild turkey in there. It'll be perfect.
You're speaking my language.
And for Penelope, we will give you a lucky feather, which you can put in your hair or in your cap or in your lapel or someplace where it can catch all of the luck that's floating on around you. So tonight,
Wonderful, thank you.
you are here to represent your club, the Murder Mavens of Spindlespire Cove, but you are also here to each play for a charity, because this is the Spindlespire County Charity Poker Tournament. It's a very popular annual event here. Members of the community are each sponsored to play their poker game, and whoever wins gets all of that money to give to the charity of their choice. The tournament is played over several rounds, with the winner of each round proceeding into the next round. And the atmosphere in the old town hall is just, it's bustling excitement. Anyone who is anyone in Spindlespire Cove is here for the tournament, but they have chosen to decorate it in a somewhat unusual theme. Enid, what unusual theme have they decided, which you particularly noticed since you're so into fashion?
Yes, of course. Walk in, and I am immediately struck by their theme of unicorns and rainbows. It's
so
quite
odd.
what I expected.
It looks like a 6-year-old's birthday
It
party
does.
in here, but it is, of course, a cutthroat charity poker tournament. So at this point in our show, if you guys have ever seen Murder, She Wrote, or any of those like 80s, 90s mystery solving theme shows, what happens is we see little snippets of exciting moments that are going to happen later in the episodes. And this is called the throw forward. You get to give each of your characters a throw forward moment. So you will paint for us a picture of what's happening in this scene at that moment and what your character does or says. And then if you make that happen in the show, you get a very special bonus roll that you can bank for an important moment. So we will start with Molly. What is Molly's throw forward moment going to be?
Let's see. Molly is standing in front of some people, and her hand is empty, and she does a quick flip of hand, and suddenly she's holding an ace of hearts.
Ooh, Ace of Hearts. And Penelope.
Penelope is in a dark room, looks like maybe an office, and she's picking the lock of the closet.
Ooh. And Enid.
Enid is standing, talking to someone you can't see, and she has her arms crossed, and she has sunglasses on that are just pointed down off her nose. Obviously, you need sunglasses for a poker tournament, you know. So she's staring someone down.
Excellent. And Jolene.
Jolene is in a group of people, don't know who they are yet, and she's picking something up. It could be a card, it could be anything, and everyone else is saying, Oh my God, Jolene, you do not know where that thing has been.
Excellent.
You do not know where that thing has been, but it's been with the Northerners. Okay, so now the episode begins. You're all settling in to your tables where you're going to be starting. And Molly, who actually has a little bit of experience playing poker, she's a little bit of a saucy gambler lady, has met the famous poker player sitting at her table. He is Ace Rogers, poker pro, and he is sitting here at your table with you. Hey, Molly, what is going on with you? How you doing, girl?
Are you still alive?
Still alive, still kicking, still bada booming my thing, yeah. It is so good to see you. I never thought I'd see you in a small little town like this.
I figured that you'd run afoul of some people by this point, and you'd have just quietly disappeared.
Oh, now you know that's the old me. The new me is a completely new man. I only play for charities now.
Well, I'm glad to see that you've come around to the side of the angels.
Yeah, well, and I was so thrilled to be asked to come to this little corner neck of the woods and play for some weird charity at some little old lady poker tournament. Well, it's so good to see a sturdy gal like you about.
I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, after the tournament, let's go out and I'll show you some of the hot spots.
Oh, I look forward to that, Chicky Doo. What charity are you playing for, Molly girl?
Oh, I'm playing for it's an animal shelter called Hot Dogs and Cool Cats.
Hot dogs and cool cats. Well, you ain't gonna win, but good luck to you anyway.
All right, from your lips.
All right. Over at Enid's table, as you're sitting down and getting all settled, the mayor comes over to greet you. Mayor Jess Simmons comes over to greet you. And of course, because you're such a charity person in the community, Jess is here to say hello. Enid.
Oh,
Darling.
Mayor Simmons.
Chicas.
So wonderful to see you.
Oh, thank you so much for participating in our little soiree.
Absolutely. The decorations here are decorative.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I thought, poker is such an old boys game. Let's give it a little bit of frill and zhuzh and I think I really look nice standing under a unicorn, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's take our picture for the papers.
Oh, well, all right.
And what charity are you playing for, darling?
Oh, yes, I am playing for the charity of Respect Your Elders. It's an after-school program that we have here at Spindlespires.
Oh, excellent. There's nothing better than elders.
All I know is that
Although I'll never be one.
I'm just sick and tired of having my door egged every other weekend,
Goodness.
Bunch of scamps.
Yes, someone should do something about that. I've got to go, but I hear you're going to be seated next to Miss Mariah Prescott, and she comes and sits down with you. She is she's an older woman like you. She's very fancy. She's very well put together. She has, a hairdo that hasn't changed from the 40s, and probably she still has a store of Aquanet somewhere that she uses to keep that coiffure at the ready. And you know her from the the Spindlespire Cove Historical Society. So, of course, that is the charity that she is here playing for. Oh, hello, darling. How are you?
Mariah.
Yes.
How lovely to see you here at my table.
Well, I couldn't be happier to be at a table if I could
Okay.
not.
Well, I hope you're ready because I've been studying.
You've been studying your poker. Oh, how droll. Well, let's play a hand and see what happens.
I would prefer to wait until it officially starts. I don't want to use up all my luck.
Oh, fine. I've got luck to spare. So we go over to Veranda's table.
Veranda's not here.
Veranda's not here, so we go to Jolene's table. Veranda was supposed to be here, but she got sick. So we go over to Jolene's table, and sitting next to you is a young lady that you've never met. Her name is Amelia Emerson. And she sits down next to you and says, "Hi.
Hi there.
I'm Amelia. I'm here to play for the Newts."
The newts?
Yes, I'm part of the Newt Appreciation Society. Did you know that Brindlewood Bay, the Spindlespire Cove Fen has become a newt sanctuary, and if we don't all work together to try and save the noble newt, that area will all be bulldozed and turned into commercial property? I'm just saying, think about that when you're playing against me.
These crazy northerners.
Bonus roll for Jolene.
I did not know that, Miss Amelia. I hope you do well.
I hope I do well too. What charity are you playing for, and do you think it could possibly be as important as the noble newt?
Well, I'm playing for the lonely Democratic gun owners.
Oh, I've seen your meetings, but there's never anyone else there.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm pretty lonely.
good luck to you. And we go over to Penelope's table. And Penelope is playing next to a very intimidating character who you recognize. This is Tony Martinez. Tony is last year's champ. He won the whole thing last year for his charity. And so it's a little bit intimidating to see him sit down next to you. Hi.
Hi.
I know. Nobody wants to be at my table. I know. But
No, it's fine. It's fine. No worries.
Okay. All right. Just out of curiosity, what charity are you playing for?
I'm playing for the Spindlespire Public Library.
Oh, cool. That's where they keep books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And other things, but yes, primarily books.
Of course, you know I work at the high school, so books are a really important piece of that puzzle.
Yes. They
Good.
are.
I'm glad we're on
we
the same
agree.
page about
right.
that.
I'm sure.
So we're a real book table over here.
Oh, absolutely.
The people will look over and say, "Hey, that's the book table."
I'm always happy to be part of people with books.
Oh, okay, good. As long as you don't feel weird, being
No.
next to the champ.
No, it's fine.
Okay. And while you were standing there, Mike the caterer comes over. Now, Mike the caterer seems like quite a wild man. He is a little bit unkempt in a surprising way. He has a very full and wild beard. He has full-sleeved tattoos. And, of course, Jolene, you're at the next table over, but you know that at this charity poker tournament, one of the charities that is being played for is the Fresh Start Foundation that helps find jobs and placement for people who have been through the system and may not otherwise be part of it. And so you recognize Mike the caterer as being part of the Fresh Start Foundation. He comes over to Penelope's table and stands right behind Tony. But he doesn't look at Tony. He looks at you and he says, "Hi. I just want you to know that there's going to be some light past apps coming out later." So
I'm sorry, there's what coming?
past apps.
Past apps?
You take the app and you pass it.
Okay, I can handle that. Sure.
Okay.
I'm here for you.
Good. I'll be bringing out the past apps. And he looks right at Tony and he goes, "I know you like past apps." And then he walks away. And it's just a weird little exchange. So the game begins. We all start playing. Molly, you are going to play your very first hand of poker. So grab your dice. You are playing over at the table with Ace. So go ahead and give us a roll. If you
Both? 2 days?
both dice. If you hit a 7 to 9, you can decide whether you want to win money for your charity or to ensure that someone else at your table loses. If you get a 10 through 12, you get to learn something about one of the competitors at your table. And on a 12 plus, you make it straight through to the final round.
Well, dang. Okay. How many people are at each table? I'm not going to make you name
There's
all of them.
about 5 people at each table at the beginning of the round.
Okay.
All right, what'd you get?
I'm starting out slow. Just,
You're starting out
I'm
slow.
learning the table. I got a 6.
Okay, so nothing exciting happens at your table.
I'm learning their tells.
Penelope, go ahead and give us a roll.
Alrighty. I got a. Is it a 2? Yeah. So
A 2?
An 8. No, an 8.
Oh, an 8,
I couldn't
okay.
tell if it was a 2 or a 3, the way the light was hitting it.
Excellent. So you can decide whether to win money for your charity or you can learn something about one of your fellow competitors.
I'll learn something about one of my fellow competitors.
Okay, and you are playing with Tony Martinez.
I am.
So Tony Martinez is going to reveal to you through your conversation as you're playing that he too he is playing for the Fresh Start Foundation. That's the charity that he is playing for this year, and you definitely notice a weirdness between he and Mike the Caterer whenever Mike the Caterer comes around.
So some apps have been passed, is what you're saying?
The apps are being passed. He's coming around behind you and just sort of like standing and sort of just like poking at you with it in the shoulder. He's very good at his job. He's very attentive. He wants to make sure that you're getting the apps that you need. All right, Enid.
All right. That's a 4.
That's a 4. Nothing's happening at your table. You and your good friend, the society lady, are just hanging out. Okay, and what about at Jolene's table?
Is this where I mention having anxiety about having to do very simple arithmetic? And tell other people? Okay. Here we go. That would be a 6.
A 6. Okay, so also nothing exciting is happening at your table.
Way to go,
so Penelope is doing very well. So time happens. You're playing. All of a sudden, we have caught up with the cold open. You're about to be at the final table. Only Penelope has made it to the final table.
Thank you.
Ace is at the
Librarians
final
rule.
table. Tony's at the final table. Of course, Mariah Prescott is at the final table. And Amelia Emerson is at the final table. You have all stayed to, of course, support your fellow Maven, Penelope, and to watch the excitement of the final table. We get to where we were at the cold open. Mayor Jess Simmons is introducing the final table. She's telling everyone to take their seats. The lights go out. There's screams. There's gasps. There's flails. And the lights come on, and Ace has been shot dead. Where did Ace go? Here's Ace. He's dead. Oh no! He has been shot. And of course, the mayor stands up and says, "Oh, this is absolutely dreadful. Someone has to call the sheriff right away. But until he gets here, which, as we all know, will take approximately 30 minutes." I propose that nobody leave here and we all try and sort out who could have possibly done such a terrible thing. Murder Mavens,
Again.
I trust you.
And we can't go anywhere.
I cannot go to one event.
Please help us. I just know, you know how the sheriff likes it. He likes it when he shows up after approximately 30 minutes and we line everyone up and then tell him who the murderer is. So if you could please work your magic just one more time for us, Mavens.
Of course,
Of course.
Mayor. And if you could do something about the egg problem, that would be wonderful.
The egg problem?
Yes, on my door. We were speaking about it earlier. I'm trying to blackmail you here.
Oh, I see. I'm just so not used to being blackmailed that I didn't recognize it happening. We'll certainly see about it, but please, everyone, even though I know one of you is a murderer, please cooperate fully with these fellow citizens of yours, the Murder Mavens. And there's murmuring, and people are all sort of still sitting at their table, but since we're down to the final table, everyone else is sort of just like milling around and whatever. And of course, now there's a dead body just sort of propped up and sitting at the table. So, Jolene,
Yes.
what do you want your first move to be in your now investigation?
I would like to go over and look at that body and see
Okay.
if I can ascertain perhaps like what kind of wound, if it's a semi-automatic weapon, if it's
Oh, of
a
course, you would
small
know,
handgun
yes.
like a 45, or what's going on. Yeah.
Excellent. So you are going to roll a meddling move. This is the main move that we are going to use in this game. Basically, you get to roll your 2 6-sided dice. On a 7 through 9, you get some kind of information, and on a 10 through 12, you get a really nice, juicy piece of information. And if you roll under a 7, you get nothing.
What are the odds? Has anyone done the calculation of the odds?
Or you might get something, but it might not be something amazing.
Do I at least get like you saying something funny?
Hopefully. I hope so.
7.
You got a 7. Excellent.
You get to re-roll, though, too, if
As
you want.
you are examining the body and looking it over, you notice that on the wall, not behind Ace, but sort of way off to another side, there's a bullet hole that should not be there. It's in a place that it shouldn't be. If we were shooting at Ace and pointing the gun at him, then you would expect the bullet holes to be right behind him. But this one's sort of off to the side. You did hear 2 shots, but only one shot seems to have taken out good old Ace. So you have found the very first piece of evidence. Molly, what are you going to do?
Is the mayor the one who's running this event?
She is the one who's running this event,
Okay,
yes.
then I would like to talk to the mayor.
Okay, all right. Oh, Molly, is it? Yes, thank you so much for participating in this event.
It was a lovely event up until the murder.
Yes, I agree. It's so important to support our local charities. And, we can't let one pesky murder stand in the way of giving money to charity. So I really appreciate you so much.
Well, that's exactly why I wanted to talk to you. So, as the rest of my friends are looking on to try and determine who the murderer was, what happens with the tournament? Is it done now? Does the money go back to the individual people who gave it? What happens now? Is it going to continue on without dear Ace?
Such a good question, and I suppose I am the one who has to have the answer to that
That is why
question.
I came to you.
Go ahead and roll a meddling move.
Ooh, that is a very nice roll. That is a 9.
Okay. Well, I think the only way to possibly handle this is to split all the money between the charities of the people who are left in the race. So, of course, Amelia, since she was at the final table, will get a small portion of the money to her society to protect the Spindlespire Fen Newts. And, of course, Tony will get a small portion of the winnings that will go to, and I don't know if anyone knows officially what charity he's playing for, but of course, I'll tell you, it's the Fresh Start Foundation. Sometimes everyone needs a fresh start, am I right? And of course, Mariah Prescott is playing for the Historical Society. I suppose, too, that we will have to give some money to the charity that Ace was here to play for. All I know is that they're called the Kindly Ones. And I certainly have never heard of the Society of the Kindly Ones, but they'll have to get their share of the money. Now, of course, everyone knows that there was lots of controversy this year over who would get the money, since every charity in town is just teetering on some kind of precipice of failure or success. So, of course, the fact that the Brindlewood Bay, that's our neighboring town. I was the mayor there too once. The Spindlespire Cove, Fen, since they won't be getting all of the money, it's likely that they won't have enough to preserve it. And the Fresh Start Foundation, well, since they're not getting all the money, they won't be able to give someone a whole fresh start. It'll just be a partial fresh start. You know how it goes. Of course, the Historical Society, oh poo. I mean, who needs more history? We've already got as much as we're ever going to get, right? All right. Penelope, what are you going to do?
I'm looking for Mike the caterer.
Oh, Mike the
Still
caterer!
in the room?
He's passing apps. Yeah.
I would like to talk to Mike and ask him where he was when the lights went out.
Well, I was passing apps. Absolutely, that's my job. I gotta walk around behind everyone. I gotta make my way around the room. I gotta circulate. These apps don't pass themselves.
But as a person who wasn't at the table and out in the crowd, did you see anything?
Oh, you
want to
know if I saw something?
Yeah, I want to know.
Oh, okay. Roll your dice.
Okay, I will. 5.
I did not see anything at all. I was really focused on the apps.
Darn it.
And it wouldn't be good if I did see something, because here I am, a fresh starter. I just want to do my catering and do my thing. But if I were you, I don't know, I'd keep an eye on that Tony guy. He looks familiar to me in some way.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Enid, what are you up to?
Well, Enid immediately thinks that it's Mariah Prescott, but she's not going to say that. She's going to go up to the table to talk to the others that were around there. I'm assuming they're all sticking together besides Penelope. And just be like, I want to check in with everyone, if everyone is okay, anyone's too shaken.
And Amelia's going to say, I think we're fine.
You're unsettling, young lady.
Not as unsettling as the world will be if we lose the Spindlespire Newt.
Great. Thank you.
Go ahead and roll for me.
It's a 6.
A 6? Okay.
What was a 5?
Everybody at the table they're just chit-chatting, and they're, of course, all worried. So you notice, Mavens, that we're in town hall, right? So we're in the big, main room where most of the, meetings and stuff take place. But of course, there's other rooms here. Mike the caterer is going in and out from a kitchen. There's the offices that are sort of 2 big offices kind of towards the back of the room. And there's a little sort of lobby area off to the side. So, it's possible that someone who is not part of the tournament or somebody or something could have gone in those areas and stashed something there. So Enid and Jolene, maybe the 2 of you want to go take a peep in one of those rooms?
Yeah, I'd say so. Is there something on the other side of the bullet hole wall?
On the other side of the bullet hole wall?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the bullet hole wall is pointing towards the lobby a little bit.
Okay.
All right,
You
shall
wanna
we
check
go
out the
out? Yeah,
lobby?
let's go out to that lobby.
Okay.
Yes.
So the lobby is a typical sort of town hall, like kind of like ante room. It's almost like a foyer kind of area. So it's sort of this narrow marble and wood. There's little benches along if people had to wait for something that was happening. There's murals of different things that have happened in Spindlespire Cove history painted there. And I'm guessing you're going to be looking around for clues.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So
We're gonna go for lunch.
We're just gonna talk about the murals.
So let's have you both roll and say like what part of the room you're investigating.
Ooh.
I'm better with cards.
So I got an 11.
An 11. Excellent.
Yeah.
So what part of the room are you looking in?
I just really want to pick the right part of the room to look at.
The suspicious one.
The suspicious part? Is that
Yes,
what you said?
the part that looks suspicious. I like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I guess I'm going to try and ascertain if somebody has tried to exit through the lobby.
Oh, okay. So as you are looking around, you find on the ground a little gun. It's like a little like Derringer type gun that you could easily hide in a pocket or something. This is no big Uzi. You have found a small
Jolene got her gun.
gun.
Jolene's doing all the work.
And Enid found nothing. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Enid got a 3.
Oh, okay. Enid sort of stubbed her toe as she was like walking past one of the benches. And what about Penelope and Molly?
I think I'd like to take Penelope over and see if we can figure out kind of where the person was. Like, we know where the bullet hole went in the wall.
Okay.
And we know where Ace was.
Okay.
Can we sort of figure out kind of where the person was standing?
The angles.
Well, the room is somewhat like round-ish.
Okay.
So, I mean, really a person could have been anywhere in the room. So, like, it really could have come from, if it had been someone at the table, you know, they would have just had to, like, move their arm this way and that. You know, if it had been someone on the outside of the room, you know, it could have
so do you
been-
want to go look at the offices?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go check out
Heading
the
to the
office.
Looking around the offices, go ahead and give us a roll. And don't forget that we have Jolene. Oh, wait. You used your pussy item.
Oh, my toe.
No,
Did you stub your toe?
Oh, goodness.
Well, she used her catchphase.
I used my
Okay,
catchphrase.
excellent.
Yeah, not my.
All right.
This carpet is terrible. Oh, you're better.
8.
8. Excellent. Okay. So what part of the room are you looking at?
File cabinets?
Okay, so there are file cabinets, and around there you're sort of poking around and you're peeking in, and you see that one of them is slightly open, like down towards the bottom. And so, of course, curiosity gets the better of you. You pull that bad boy out, and inside is a briefcase full of cash! Now, that could be there for municipal reasons, so there's no way of knowing if this is part of our ongoing mystery or if that's just a regular.
Yes.
Yeah,
Our mayor's never been
Cash poor.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, in Spindlespire Cove, sometimes you just need to have a briefcase full of cash. One never knows, but it
always
seems
have one
like
in
it
the
could be part of this mystery.
And Penelope says, dang!
Okay, so meanwhile, in the room, everybody is starting to get kind of restless and they're sort of kicking around. So Tony comes into the lobby where you guys are, and he's acting kind of squirrely, and he's like, hey, did you guys, I don't know how investigations work. Have you found anything yet?
Well, we found a few key items, Tony, but you seem like you got some ants in your pants, young man. Like, what's going on?
Oh, well, you know, I just, I don't like being around when, you know, unsavory things are happening. I work at the high school. It's really important for me to kind of keep my nose clean.
Right. So what are the current? You know what? Would you calm down if you had a little bit of tea?
I might.
I've got this lovely thermos of tea. It's spiked just a little bit, so that might
that
also
would be helpful.
Yes, let me pour you a little bit of tea. Have a seat.
Okay, excellent. So you use your cozy item.
Yes.
Yay!
You're just
So
on
that
top
means
of
that you
it.
get an extra special bonus roll. You can use it anytime. It means you get to roll twice and choose the higher of the roll. You can save it and use it all the way at the end when you are theorizing, or you can use it on any roll if you just like totally biff it and stub your toe like Enid and Molly did. So go ahead and roll a meddling move to sort of more or less interrogate.
I would like to immediately do
Okay.
She got snake eyes. She got snake eyes.
4.
A 4.
Sorry, I'm rubbing off. on
Okay,
you.
so he really appreciates your
My tea.
your spiked tea. He really enjoys it. Over in the room where you two are, we have a commercial break. So the show pauses. We cut to our commercial break, and this is, of course, a commercial for Elrod's briefcases, the best briefcases for cash. You two get to do a little commercial for us about Elrod's briefcases, the best briefcases for cash. Bonus points if there's a jingle.
Hey, buddy, do you need
Come on, team. Come on.
Do you need a briefcase, buddy? Do you need a briefcase?
Briefcase? What do I need a briefcase for?
Well-
I'm an important businessman.
Well, every businessman needs a briefcase. Do you have cash around?
So much.
You know, Elron's briefcases are the best for cash.
Oh, I see. It fits my cash so perfectly and doesn't even rattle.
Elron, the briefcase for cash.
Cha-ching.
All right, excellent. So we go back to the show, and now all of you are in sort of the other office together, looking around, and you can at this time sort of tell each other what you found, and of course you're all looking around this office as well. So everybody can roll a move for us to see if anyone finds anything this time.
Come on, dice. Oh, I got an 8.
You got an 8?
7.
And a 7?
7.
5. And 5. Okay, so 3 of you hit your mark, and you find Molly in this room, a hidden camera. Ooh. It looks like one of those air freshening squirters that, like, every 15 minutes, like, squirts out a freshener. But you notice, because you frequent the spy shops, that this has a little hidden camera, and so it is watching everything that happens in this office. And so you kind of think to yourself, where there's one hidden camera,
It's not mounted. It can be moved
it can be
around?
moved around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there anything on this that we could watch what's in it? I mean, it doesn't have a screen, right?
It's like a remote thing, so it's shooting its signal somewhere not. It could be going to someone's phone. It could be going to a computer. It could be going to somebody's office. But
What's
you
been
found a hidden
spying?
camera.
Well, that's interesting.
The Elrond cash briefcase.
And you two, you're kicking around in the office, and you find 2 more guns. These are little wee guns, and so you're finding them just all over the place. Like, they could be falling out of people's pockets. They could be getting ditched and kicked under the
Guns
thing.
and cash and
But that's what you find in this office.
Jolene, can you tell if any of them have been fired recently? Is that a thing people can tell from
Well,
that?
I don't know, DM. Can I?
Can you? I don't know. Like, they're so little. Like, I think you probably you can tell that at least one of them has been, but it's hard to say because they're so little. They're kind of like little two-shotters. So, Alice,
All right, so
Alice, are there guns that
everyone
have
is
two
going to
shots?
be standing around.
Okay.
And I'm going to be manipulating the weapons, and at some point I'm going to go on the tip of one, and you're all going to say, "What are you doing? Do you know where that's been?"
Yay! Another bonus roll for Alice.
And I'll
Killing
say,
it with the bonus rolls, Joey.
I'll say, I think I can tell, at least by the taste of the powder, the exiting the weapon, that this one here, you can see I'm totally doing a totally different accent now, is the one that was fired.
It sounds pretty consistent to me.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good. Okay,
Are they
excellent.
the same, like the same kind of gun, just multiple of the same?
They are, yeah. They're like the same. It's like 3 of the same gun that you've found so far. They're just like little tiny little pocket guns.
Do we know whose office this is?
It's the town hall, so many people use this office. One of these 2 offices is the office that the mayor uses when she's working in this part of town. But she sort of tends to come and go.
Well, who would come and go and leave a briefcase of cash and a collection of guns?
Right, and who would be interested in making sure that the mayor is doing what she's supposed to be doing and watching
right.
every move that she makes?
I mean, I would do it if I had the option, but it's a good question. Interesting.
And what was happening with Tony in the lobby?
I don't. Tony was acting real squirrely. I think there is something up with that young man. Did you guys notice? You noticed, didn't you? How the ass whatever Mike that guy was sort of like, I don't know, looking at that guy weird.
Yeah.
I didn't get much.
He thought that Tony looked familiar.
Interesting.
Oh wait,
And
didn't
he's from
we
the
know that
Fresh
he's
Start
from the
program.
Fresh Start thing? Maybe he's
Interesting.
not really a teacher.
Maybe he's not really keeping his nose clean like he said he's trying to. Interesting. Okay.
We also still have the kitchen to look at if anybody wants to take a peek around the kitchen, and you can still explore more of the poker room. Like if you guys want to look in any specific places around the poker room, you can do that as well.
I would like to look at the table itself and
Okay.
like surrounding areas of that. And maybe I'd also like to listen and see if people are gossiping about it.
Okay, so you're gonna go investigate the table and sort of try and eavesdrop while you're doing it.
Sure.
Okay. What-
I'm gonna try not to touch anything. I'm gonna use my big wooden spoon. I just had it. I don't know where.
You can keep a spoon in your back pocket. Those are so useful. It's like a frying pan. All right, go ahead and give us a roll.
Oh, that's a 9.
Nice, excellent.
Nice.
So, you know how poker tables often have like a bumper around the edge that you can sort of like lay your hands on. You can sort of like park your chips up next to it. And you are looking around and you notice that the bumper is kind of like pushed up in one part, and you lift up the bumper, and out falls a deck of clearly marked cards. Ooh, they fall right out, and you can tell that they're like subtly but obviously marked. Like there's little like sort of bumps in almost like braille kind of in the corners, and these are clearly something that someone would intend to use to cheat.
I learned about that when I was studying.
Do we know who
is sitting in that?
Yeah, who is sitting in that?
They're in front of Amelia Emerson's seat. And she's going to notice you looking around and being like, anyone could have sat in the seat that I sat in. These were not assigned seats. I just took a seat and sat. I didn't put that there.
Did anyone else try to sit there?
I didn't notice. I usually am used to people not wanting to sit next to me, so I just barge in and take a seat first. Like the noble newt, I find my territory and claim it.
I had to say, I respect that you stay on task, but I'm going to need you to stop referencing the news.
Stop referencing the newt.
There's been a murder.
The whole reason I'm here is for the noble newt. And did you hear that the mayor said that we're each only going to get a tiny portion of each of the charity money? Well, that just can't stand. I think that she's in on something.
Young lady, you do realize you're seeming a little bit slimy, like the newt you want to say?
Well, I take that as a compliment. If newts are slimy, then I'll be slimy too. But I didn't cheat. I came here to play cards. I've been practicing for weeks and playing online.
Okay, well, interesting. Thank you so much for your impassioned story.
You're welcome. Go ahead and roll again.
Nope, I'm gonna re-roll that
Okay.
because that was another 3. It's a 7.
Okay. So she's going to say, listen, just to prove to you that I am noble like the newt of the Spindlespire Fen, I'm going to let you know that me and Mariah Prescott are in cahoots. We are both planning to use our portion of the money to protect the Spindlespire Cove Fen. It's not just a home to newts, it's a home to many historical happenings. And so we were going to work together to pool our winnings. If either of us won to protect the Fen, someone is gunning for that forest. We don't know who, and we don't know why, but someone is trying to make sure that it gets zoned commercial. And me and Mariah Prescott, we're not going to let that happen.
Who was playing for these people?
That was the
The kind of.
Oh, okay, the kindly ones. Okay, so she was playing for the kindly ones?
no, that was
She's
the
playing
historical
for the
society.
the murder.
Oh,
victim.
Ace, the murdered victim was
We're playing for the Society of the Kindly.
kindly ones. Okay.
All right. Well, I find it hard to believe that Miss Prescott would be so helpful, but let's see. Thank you for your information, and remember, don't leave.
I will. I don't think any of us can.
I know. Well, here's the thing. We say that, and no one's guarding the doors. I don't understand why everyone stays. Anyway.
I think we're all invested to see if you're going to solve this mystery. Yeah. Also, if one of us left, that would be pretty obvious.
Yes, and then we could get on with our Saturday night.
And then Mike the caterer comes around and he's like, I still have apps. You guys want apps?
Absolutely.
I do.
Okay. I'm
I do
going to
want
move
some
these apps. If I come back with the apps, they're going to think I'm not pushing the apps.
Understand.
They're going to think I'm not doing my job.
Now, Mike, don't leave. So I'm real curious. You seem to be eyeing Tony an awful lot, as if you are familiar with him. Do you know Tony, perhaps from a past life?
Roll your dice and we'll find out.
Six.
You can reroll.
He seems real familiar. I can't quite put my maybe if you jogged my memory a little bit.
Just
Six.
She got it a different way.
I think that maybe I might have seen him in my own former life, but I can't really tell you for sure. I know he was playing for the Fresh Start Foundation, which is why I'm here tonight,
Right.
to play for the Fresh Start Foundation.
So what's going on back in that kitchen?
Oh, I should go check
Can I-
on the kitchen.
Right, first, can I ask, Enid, can I ask you to do something that you'll think is extremely unpleasant?
Of course.
You have a connection to Mariah.
Oh, God.
Would you be so kind as to find out if she knows anything about who these kindly ones might be? It sounds like a possible historical thing. Maybe she might know something about it.
I could do that, and I'm also going to be holding those cheaty cards in my hand to see if anyone reacts to them.
Okay.
And I think the rest of us, they're going to go to the kitchen.
Okay.
Let's
We're
just-
gonna go to the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, get the chicken.
So we'll go to the kitchen and then we'll come back to Mariah. So let's go to the kitchen first. It is a small office type kitchen. So it's got like, limited counter space. There's like a mug tree. There's like a Keurig type coffee maker. There's 2 microwaves. There's a toaster. There's a fridge. And it's
Where
just
are
like
the apps coming from?
he's got a truck outside. So he's going
They're
in out
magical.
the back door to get the apps.
Okay.
He's sort of using the little like break table in there as like a staging area to bring the apps back and forth. So you 3 are gonna all look around the room. So go ahead and do a roll to let know who finds something.
10.
Yes. 10.
7.
The floors in this place are terrible.
Did you
I got a
trip
splinter from
again?
last one.
What part of the room are you looking in?
I'm going to look in the staging area.
Okay.
Okay, so you are looking in there and you find a piece of paper that's like stuffed underneath, like sort of caught up under the door that's been like sort of kicked in and out. Like it seems like it probably fell out of somebody's briefcase or something and then got shuffled and kicked, and you pull it out and you can't really see all of the details on it, but it does seem like evidence that someone is conspiring to win this tournament and make sure that the Spindlespire Cove fen gets turned into a zoned commercial property. But you don't know who this evidence was going to at town hall. You don't know who it was coming from, but it looks as though it's a communication to describe that this bribe is taking place.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Cash. Briefcase.
All right. And you also found something.
Yes,
Penelope.
I got a 7. I would like to go through like the cabinets and the drawers.
Okay, excellent. So as you are looking through the cabinets, you find the other half of her piece of paper. Okay.
All becomes clear now, right?
And it sort of does become clear. This is evidence that one of our suspects is in on taking the bribes, and it is Tony. He has been taking bribes from the town council to hide some kind of secret. We don't know what secret he's trying to bribe, but the town council is wanting him to win at all costs and to not necessarily give that money to the Fresh Start Foundation, but to divert it to the people, the town council, who are the ones who are trying to get the forest zone commercial so they can build like shopping malls and stuff on that land.
Not in my town.
I know. I mean, that could be some fertile hunting ground, so I definitely don't want that to happen.
Yeah. If it, the next thing you know, it's a Jimmy John's, and nobody's happy, right? They put a Geico there; it's going to make Amelia go insane. That's a gecko, not a
That's
newt,
not
she
a
would point
newt,
out.
you're right.
Okay, and so we have another commercial. Yay! This is a commercial for the Fresh Start Catering Company. And so we're going to have Alice and Trisha give us a commercial for the Fresh Start Catering Company and why you want to use their ex-cons for your past apps.
Hey, Susan, do you have a sketchy past?
You know what, Meryl? I do.
Well, if you've got even some basic skills like making a shiv or making something out of soap, I've got a place you can go.
Great. Tell me more.
It's called the Fresh, what is it called? The
Foundation.
The Fresh Start Foundation. And you can learn how to make pass apps.
Wow, that is so exciting. I'm sure people can't wait to have someone like me catering their parties.
They can't.
It's gonna be fun, too.
Bonus points for a jingle.
It's a Fresh Start Catering Company.
Fresh Start.
We won't
Fresh
steal
Start.
from you, we promise.
Fresh Start. Fresh Start.
Excellent. So we come back from a commercial. Enid is doing her bit with Mariah Prescott. And then we are going to have to move into the theorizing phase. The sheriff is going to be here in a few short minutes, and you have to decide who you think did it. So first, what is it that you're trying to do with Mariah Prescott?
I'm trying to intimidate her first and foremost with my sunglasses down on my nose. And I'm just going to ask her, Mariah, I know that you're in cahoots with the weird girl.
Well, I don't know that I would use the word cahoots.
I would.
It's such a I don't like words that have two O's. They seem so low class.
Well, I'll try to choose my words differently.
It's like a verbal slap in the face every time with you, Enid. I thought we were friends.
Oh, we are. Listen, friend, who has been giving you the biggest trouble with this fen? Who's up against this? Who would want the shopping malls and what have you?
Oh, well, so many people stand to benefit if it gets zoned commercial. Go ahead and roll your dice.
Come on, dice. Come on, dice. Rolling, re-rolling.
Come on, dice. Come on, dice. Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Those are double sixes.
Double sixes! Oh.
Thank you, sunglasses.
Well, you didn't hear it from me. You know how I hate to be a gossip. But I heard that the winner of last year's tournament, Tony Martinez, is actually an ex-convict himself. I heard that he was convicted of cheating in charity poker tournaments all up and down the eastern seaboard. And instead of giving that money to the charities he played for, fake charities, I would remind you, even though you didn't hear it from me.
Of course not.
I hear that being that he is actually an ex-con, is in the pocket of town council. Because if they tell the high school, he's bound to lose his job. Oh, and also I found this. I don't know if you would find it interesting. And she hands you a bullet.
Wow.
A tiny, tiny, tiny little bullet.
KK.
And it has a name written on it.
Mariah, you fool. Why did you give this to us sooner?
Well, I didn't know you'd be interested. It has on the name of it, Mayor written on it and underlined. All right.
Well, thank you, Mariah.
So, Mavens, you have a giant pile of evidence. You have all of your suspects lined up.
Gather in the
Take a moment, talk through your evidence, and then you need to come up with a theory of the case. So here's how it works in the Spindlespire mysteries. You have found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of evidence. Those count as points. So every piece of evidence that you apply towards your theory of the case is a point that you can count towards your roll. If you decide who you think did it, so if you decide someone who's not even in the room, someone from town council did it, and you can explain every single piece of evidence that you found to make that true, you will then roll. And if you biff it, you will still get 10 points to your roll. So your suspects are Amelia Emerson, Mayor Jess Simmons, Tony Martinez, Mike the Caterer, and Mariah Prescott. Those are your official suspects.
So, can I ask a clarification question?
Yes.
So, Tony, is he bribing the council or is he working for
I got the impression he was
council?
working for the council.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the bribe is a separate thing.
It's sort of like, it's a bribe in the sense that they're not going to tell on, I guess it's a blackmail.
Okay.
They said they wouldn't tell the school that he's an ex-con if he won and made sure that the
Money got diverted.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then Tony did it, right? No, I'm just kidding.
You got a theory?
Well, Tony was who I keep thinking about. I just feel like everything sort of leads back
Points to him. Yeah.
Squirrely behavior, ex-con, the fact that Mike knew him from a previous life.
From a previous ex-con.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I was thinking like, if he did it because he's trying to sort of get out of it, like get out of that situation, like was he trying to take out somebody at the table or somebody even in the room so that he could get out from being blackmailed?
Right, and it wasn't Ace that was supposed to die, it was the mayor, and he's just a terrible shot.
Yeah, right. Because I figure, what's her face? Mariah and Amelia are just kind of.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit of a red herring over here.
What do you think?
I don't know. I was thinking. My thought was that because the bullet said mayor on it, someone was trying to set her up for it.
Oh, framer.
Yeah.
Oh.
And these are probably her guns. I don't know. Or this could have been like a money drop-off kind of situation.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Because there's a briefcase of cash and a hidden camera. So it's almost like someone was waiting for someone to pick that up.
So who and who? Like who's
I don't
dropping
know.
off and who's it?
I think it comes down to the mayor, maybe. I don't know.
What are you thinking?
I don't trust you.
I also think Tony is the one, and I think it was a mistake. I think he was trying to, but I think there's more to it than that.
Okay.
Because I think that he was under pressure to win this tournament. And I think that's where the deck of marked cards came in, because I think he was doing everything he could to try and stack the deck in his favor.
Sure.
Okay.
And so when he was reaching a boiling point, essentially, I think this was his big move, and then he was going to run out, grab the briefcase of cash, and get out. Skip out on all of it. This was his big move, was to
It was
do
a
all this.
diversion.
Yes, and so I think you're right. I think it was going to kill the mayor, which would have caused a bigger panic than poor Ace.
Right.
Terrible shot, and now is caught in this. And I think that's one of the reasons why he was so squirrely when you were talking to him in the lobby.
Why so many guns, though?
Right.
Yeah.
So we definitely we've got those three.
I think you're right
right?
about the hidden camera was probably set up by the mayor to make sure to catch him in the act of taking the cash, then would have him.
But why this kind of hidden camera if it's your office?
Well, but maybe somebody else planted
Just to
it.
catch? Just to catch?
Yeah.
Okay, so no one...
Because that's the other thing. It could have been not her that set up the camera. It could be somebody else who set up the camera. Right?
All I know is that this is not going to be the second event in a row where the caterer did it.
Shady characters in
Yeah.
the catering business
Yeah.
and Spindlespire Bay.
I don't think so.
At one point, I thought that perhaps he was in on it as well. I mean, who better to go around and find out what everyone's holding in their hands? The intern who's going from
Passing
passive
out.
rich,
Yes.
passive
Behind
rich,
a lot of
but
people.
he's been very forthcoming in the fact that he knew.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a terrible thing to do if you're a conspiracy. If you're in the
100%.
conspiracy with him.
So I
He
think
is in
if one of these.
so he's
So
not
I
afraid of
think
not getting caught.
I think so far we've definitely got these things covered. It's the weaving in the hidden camera and the extra guns.
And the bullet. So that's
Right, and the bullet.
Oh yeah, and there are things that aren't pictured.
And then and the paper, the
The paper piece that you guys
yes.
have.
That's right.
that's 6.
Yes, that
That's
fits
6.
in.
6 is pretty good.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe someone knew that he was going to make a dash for the cash, and that's why they were watching. But they would say something, right?
Well, wouldn't if the council wanted to ensure that he and the mayor were doing the deal that they wanted them to do, maybe it was the town council that put the camera in there to keep an eye on the mayor.
I still find it very suspicious that the cash was in an unlocked, slightly open,
Next to a camera.
next to a camera. Like, it does seem a bit like a setup.
It's like
Right,
a honeypot
right.
situation.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, so maybe the mayor knew. Maybe the mayor had found out. And so she was trying to set him up. And then he found out that she knew.
And he's trying to set
And
her
he's
up
trying to
for
set
murder.
her up. And then, right, yeah.
And just to be sure, he put a bunch of guns in.
in there, right. Just to make.
He got a 3-for-1 deal.
Because he
with
knows
guns.
how terrible Sheriff Dalrymple is. So he just wanted to make
If
sure.
it's only 2 shots per gun, maybe he thought he would need more shots.
You'd have to go back
Oh.
to get more guns?
Like if he missed, he would come back.
Right.
Gun number 2, gun number 3. Okay. I love it so much.
All right,
So instead of one gun with many bullets, many guns.
With very few bullets. Yes.
could have been any of them. I don't know. Maybe they planned on planning him
Clearly,
on
he
someone
doesn't
else.
teach math.
Or right. Or maybe the mare bullet was going to be planted in one of them specifically, and so he.
And then he wouldn't
Or
leave
it's
the one that had been
already
fired.
Right.
These were already in the office or something. These are already the mayor's guns. Because she's a weirdo.
Because she's a weirdo.
And then, so in order to set her up, he steals her gun. He shoots, right? Yes, I don't know. I think the deck of cards might be a red herring.
It could be a red herring, but it could be weaved into the story by, even if he's not the one who ended up using them, he had planted them there in hopes
He
of
was
using
going
them.
to use them.
Well,
But then
Amelia did
weirdo
say she
nerd
just went in and sat
Right,
where he
right.
thought he was going to sit.
Or
then
had
why
been using
have
them
this-
the whole time.
Why have this elaborate plan if he was just planning on cheating?
Well, that's how he gets to the final table.
Oh, yes, I like
Okay.
it. I like that's how he gets to the final table.
But why does he need to be at the final table?
Because he has to win.
But
That's
he's
the
killing
original-
someone.
But no,
his
no,
goal.
no, that's the original setup, is that
Okay.
he's been hired.
So this is a spur of the moment decision? All of this?
So
I'm not
no.
I don't get what
No.
you're saying.
The council has asked the mayor to set up this deal with Tony to win the game, to divert the cash. First thing that happens, they're keeping an eye on her to make sure she does that. Tony decides that he's gonna do the first double cross, and he's gonna do a mad dash for the cash, and he's gonna frame the mayor for doing it. So, but he has to play along because he doesn't want to immediately be seen as the only suspicious person. So he wants to get to the final table.
Okay. And okay, this is what let's go ahead. Maybe like the idea is that they're like, oh, what am I trying to say? Maybe the mayor's the one that planted the deck of cards in order to help him win. Like that was her job.
That's another reasonable.
Because she set everything up. Maybe she put it in there, and because maybe he told her like, "I'll need this in order to cheat." So that's why that's there.
I think that's a perfectly reasonable.
So the mayor is your suspect then.
No, the mayor is the patsy.
Yeah.
in my
So
brain.
Tony still did the bang bang.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know.
So Sheriff Dalrymple
sense?
and his deputies
You're going to have to actually lay the whole thing out.
banging into the room, and he says,
You're there.
"All right, Mavens, who done it?" And all your suspects line up. Everybody's gathered around in the room. One of them falls down.
For those listening,
for news.
this whole time Chrissy's been just holding up pictures of random celebrities and
That's
drawings.
why you gotta come to the show if you want to get that
That's
level of comedy.
The audience.
Or you should do a competition and have people guess by your imitation of the accent of the actor.
Oh, it is. Well, one of these is just a cartoon today. All right, so Mavens,
Who's doing it?
who done it?
You got it, or you want me to do it?
Someone gets to
What do you got?
explain and someone gets to roll.
Oh.
I will explain and you will roll.
Okay.
All right, do it.
Well, Sheriff, thank you so much for finally joining us. What we think that happened here was a really terrible example of what's happening in the background here at Spindlespire.
Spindlespire.
Cove, the Cove.
Yes, Brindle Bay's the town one town over.
We believe that the council wanted a certain member to win this game. So much so that they set him up to cheat. And they set him up, they were blackmailing him to do this. So that's good for him. He didn't necessarily want to do it, right? But what he did want to do is get to a different kind of treasure, a different prize. There's a briefcase of cash in the office, and it's open and ready, and it looks just primed to be taken as if it was a setup. Oh, what's this? A hidden camera. Someone was watching and waiting for someone to take that case. And who was supposed to take that case? Tony. He knew he was being set up. He's smart enough to know he was being set up, so he decided to take things into his own matters and use the mayor's guns from her office and shoot at anyone. I don't know. Maybe he meant to shoot at Ace. Maybe he didn't. But that bullet has the mayor's name on it.
So how many items did you use?
I don't know. What am I missing? There's ones that you didn't.
4. You didn't mention the cards yet.
I didn't mention the cards. The cards.
She said set up to win. So
They set up
Okay,
to
set
win
up to
with
win.
the cards.
The letter.
The letter.
know.
We have a letter. We have pieces of a letter that show that he was being blackmailed by the council.
5. You know his false identity. That's 6. Mm-hmm. The bullet with the mayor's name on it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the.
And we found the bullet hole in the weird spot because he's just such a bad shot. That's why he needed so many multiple guns.
That's why I needed so many guns. Okay, so that's 8. So you get to do your roll, and you get to add 8.
You got this, Jolene. You got this.
I feel like the goalie in a soccer game, frankly.
Right. Come on.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, but now I can't do the math, so somebody do
8.
7
plus
plus
8.
8. No, 7 plus 8.
It's 6 and 5 and 2, 8.
See how bad I am? So, yes, an 8 and an 8.
16.
16. Okay, excellent. So he's like, Dagnabbit, you got me. You're absolutely right. But I'm not going down without a fight. And from his pockets, he pulls out 2 more tiny guns. But Molly, who knew this was happening, pulls out
The Ace of Hearts.
and
Throws it.
hits him right in the face. He drops his two little guns and says, "All right, fine. Take me back to jail, but I didn't want to do it. Why can't an ex-con just teach high school science?" And that's the end of the
For you, Ace.
Yes. The ace for ace, yeah. So one more time, please tell us your name and what character you played starting at the end.
Alice Baker, I played Jolene Abernathy.
I'm Trisha Mailer, and I played Enid Wilder.
I'm Denise Olson, and I played Penelope.
I'm Kyle Olsen, and I played Molly.
And I'm Chrissy, and I've been your TACMU for this game. Thank you so much for coming. I do want to give a shout out. We have folks here from Athoria Games, which is like a really super cool gaming store, which is in the Sprouts Plaza. We go there all the time. They have everything. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for listening, noble, gentle, cool timers. We appreciate you so much. Like, rate, review, all of that stuff. And for those of you who actually physically came to the show, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Don't be afraid to give us your feedback and let us know if you have any suggestions or hints or tips or ideas of what we could do to make the setup work a little bit better. Thank you so much. This has been Cool Timers.